Yeah, very glad that is out. Hello guys, and welcome back to Car Obsession. As you can see, I've got Leo with me, Leo the Leon, and today is an exciting day because we are fitting these. Let me just bring you around to the boot area. I'll show you the goodies inside. Feast your eyes on those. So these are iBark Sportsline lowering springs, and these will be fitted to Leo today. Massive shout out to DPM Performance who sorted me out. They gave me a bit of discount and they gave me fantastic service, so do check them out if you want bits for your Volkswagen Automotive Group car. So yes, I'm going to be fitting these today. So yeah, without further ado, let's do it. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not a trained mechanic and this is not a how-to video or a tutorial, but if you do happen to learn something new, then that is of course an added bonus. However, if you want to learn how to do this process from start to finish, there are definitely better videos out there. Autodoc, for example, is a YouTube channel I would recommend to you. I may not be a trained mechanic, but I am fortunate enough to have access to a workshop as I work in a car repair garage. First thing was to remove the plastic covers for the wheel bolts, which can be done using the special tool that comes with the vehicle, although a pick could be used instead. I then loosened the wheel bolts in preparation for getting the car up in the air, and then it was time to loosen the bolts for the top mounts, which was actually a bit of a faff, as the one nearest to the dashboard was very difficult to access because of the plastic trim at the bottom of the windscreen. Removing this was not only a massive pain in the backside, but it also meant the windscreen wipers also had to be removed, adding unexpected time to the job. Next, it was time to remove the wheels, and even with the bolts removed, the wheels didn't quite fancy coming off, even with some persistent coaxing by yours truly. Thankfully, one of the guys was on hand to give it some experienced, firm encouragement. There we are, brute strength. And elbow grease, thank you mate. I then removed the metal bracket which keeps the brake hose in place before removing the nut at the top of the drop link, which was as stubborn as a mule. After some swearing, we used an impact wrench on it, and even then it struggled at first. By the way, you'll also want to remove the ABS wiring, which I initially forgot to do. After that, I removed the bolt for the fastener that connects the suspension strut to the steering knuckle, which was thankfully a fair bit easier to undo than some of the other things I'd had to do before this. Next up, I removed the 3 nuts where the ball joint meets the suspension arm before placing the steering knuckle on a transmission jack to help support it. And after that, it was time to free the strut from the steering knuckle, which was easier said than done, and once more, this was a component that needed quite a lot of encouragement to come out. I got there eventually, with a fair amount of help. Before you remove the spring, you will need to compress it. There's a good chance you won't have access to a fancy spring compressor like this, or indeed a mechanic to operate it, but you can get spring compressors that look like this on the internet. Once the new, sexier springs were on, it was time to get the struts refitted. Speaking of time, I was running out of it, so I enlisted some much needed help. Thankfully, fitting the rear springs is a lot less involved than doing the front, as all you need to do is to undo a bolt either side, but just make sure you have something supporting the suspension arm when it drops, so do it like this and not like this. I simply removed the old springs and replaced them with the new ones, making sure that I lined up the bottom coil with the lip that's within the base of the suspension arm, and I did the same with the rubber top mounts. Then I refitted the bolt I had removed earlier, dead easy. Remember, when you do any suspension work, you will need to get a wheel alignment done afterwards, otherwise your tracking may be out and your tyres may wear unevenly. And there we are, there's the broken part of the spring extracted. God damn you! With the struts back in and the supporting components refitted and secured, I re-secured the bolts for the top mounts, then the windscreen trim was refitted, as were the wipers. So guys, let's have a look at the broken spring. So that's the top of the spring, absolutely fine, that is intact, but have a look at the bottom. Oh dear, and that is the remaining piece, which has obviously come away, and this piece was actually lodged in the bottom, so I had to use a screwdriver to lever it out. But yeah, as you can see, that is no good for anyone, so yeah, very glad that is out. So let's have a look at the finished results. Yeah, oh look at that, you can see the spring. Oh, it looks so sexy. And if I come out, you'll see that is sitting quite nice and low, but not too low. Now, for those of you wondering how much the drop is, I must admit right now I'm not too sure, because it's been a really long day and my brain is fried, but I will drop it in as a subtitle. If I'm going to be picky, maybe I'd want the rear to be just a little bit lower. Still looks a tad high, but still, the stance and the kind of road presence this car is going to have now, I must admit, yeah, that does look good. But what are my first impressions of the way how the ride is? Well, let's go for a drive and I will let you know. So where I live, a lot of the roads around here are quite bumpy and they're not particularly good. So this will be a good test. This road in particular, to look at, it looks relatively okay, but it is quite bumpy. Okay, so first impressions, I drive down this road often and I wouldn't say it's particularly fantastic. On the stock springs, the ride would definitely be busier down here, a bit more jiggly, a bit more unsettled. With the iBox springs though, it definitely feels nicer. Of course, there's still a level of firmness to be had, but these are lowering springs. These aren't really designed for comfort as their main objective. However, having said that, these definitely feel more compliant than the OEM's, almost said shocks, sorry, the OEM springs. Right, quick test. Multi-storey car park. And the reason why I want to test this is because this one in particular has got quite aggressive speed humps. And I want to see if I'm able to get over them. Because it's great having a lowered car, but it still needs to be practical. That's fine. Yep, no issues whatsoever. So I don't think I'm going to be low enough to the point where I'm going to be scraping or I'm going to bottom out, but let's give it a go. Nope, absolutely fine. So the car is still drivable, because it's great to lower a car, but if it's low to the point where you can't drive it properly without scraping, that's not much fun. In fact, that's what happened to my Mark 1 MX-5, otherwise known as Monique. I lowered her relatively dramatically to begin with when I put the coilovers on with the help of fellow YouTuber Oscar Brown. And yeah, I couldn't drive the car anywhere because it was too low, to be frank. But the Leon, so far, so good. get a bit more speed. That is absolutely fine. I was a bit worried that it would be a bit low for car parks. Okay, so on the way down now, could just ease off a bit of speed. Nope. Okay, so no scraping on the front. That's good. Yeah, it is very usable. Okay, what about on the way out? So once more, I've got to tackle these really nasty speed humps. They are definitely needlessly steep. I get you have to have speed humps, but these are just really aggressive. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. I really hope one of my cameras picks that up. That is a bright yellow Lamborghini Aventador. I don't like yellow, but I like that. That is nice. I will of course be looking to get the geometry done, the wheel alignment. But having said that, the car feels like it's tracking quite true. If I just take my hands off the steering wheel for a bit, I'd say the car's pulling to the right ever so slightly, but the alignment doesn't seem to have been affected too drastically. So let's give it another go down here. I haven't got anyone behind me, so I can ease off a bit. So hopefully you can see on this angle here. So my hands are here. Yeah, the car does seem to be pulling ever so slightly to the right. There we go. Yeah, let's turn back now. In case you're wondering why I'm saying the steering is a bit out, the geometry, the wheel alignment, was actually done a few days after this video was filmed, as there wasn't enough time to do the geometry on the day we fitted the spring. So I hope that clears things up. So yes, it is always advisable to get the wheel alignment done. So you want to make sure that your tyres aren't wearing out in a funny fashion. And of course that your car drives in a straight line. There we go, first mod done. Woo! That is a good feeling, but I must admit I am looking forward to a nice cold crisp beer when I get home, because today was a little bit of a hardship, although some of you will laugh at me because all I did was put lowering springs onto a car. It's not exactly the most labour intensive job in the world, but yeah, I'm not a trained mechanic. I'm a hobbyist at best, and as I said earlier, I had to get help from the guys when I faced one or two struggles. So yeah, it's a big deal for me. For quite a few of you watching, you can probably do this kind of job with your eyes closed, but yeah, I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied, very content. I've got a nice warm feeling of accomplishment, of achievement. But of course, it wouldn't have been made possible without my good friends at the garage, Rob and Vince. Right guys, I really must get home, have a shower because I stink, have something to eat because I'm absolutely Hank Marvin, and have a drink because I'm parched. So I think I will end it there for this video. Massive thank you to the guys that helped me at the garage. Massive thank you to DPM Performance for giving me discount on these springs. Oh, this road is terrible, but my spine is intact. But of course, a massive thank you to you guys watching at home or wherever you may be. I do really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession. How long are these lights? Go green! Hurry up! I'm hungry, thirsty and stinky.